Cancer caused by a virus. It's startling information that's having a significant impact on women's health. Cervical cancer is caused by certain types of virus called human papillomavirus, or HPV. Thousands of women in the United States every year learn they have cervical cancer. When Belinda Canavan was diagnosed with cervical cancer, she was stunned.
I found out that I had cervical cancer after my last pap smear. I found out that I had very abnormal cells and I needed to have a biopsy, and that's how I found out that I have cervical cancer. When I got the results of my biopsy, my feelings were, how could this happen to me?
For the majority of women who have HPV, the body's defenses are enough to clear the virus. But for some women, such as Belinda, if the body doesn't clear up the virus, cervical cancer can develop. And because HPV often has no signs or symptoms, she didn't know she had it.
Before I was diagnosed with cervical cancer, I did not know or feel any symptoms.
Today, after surgery, Belinda is cancer-free. But she'll never forget the shock of learning that her cancer may have been caused by a virus. HPV is common. In 2005, the CDC estimated that 20 million people in the United States had HPV.
Approximately 80% of women will have been exposed to HPV by the time they're age 50. Anyone having any sexual activity involving genital contact can get HPV. Sexual intercourse really isn't necessary.
There are actually more than 100 types of HPV, and most are relatively harmless. However, about 30 types of HPV affect the genital area. Some are cancer-causing types that can cause cervical cancer, vaginal cancer, and vulvar cancer. Other types can cause genital warts, and all of these types of HPV can cause women to have abnormal pap tests.
With an abnormal pap test or abnormal cervical cells, women feel very concerned that maybe they're going to develop cancer. When women develop genital warts, they're very concerned about their physical presence. Will they be attractive to someone else? Will someone want to be with them again? The treatments for both of these conditions can also be painful. So it's a difficult physical and emotional time when people are exposed to HPV and have these diseases occur.
Besides the emotional and physical distress from HPV-related diseases, the virus may come with a financial burden too. It's estimated that HPV-related costs total $3 billion per year in the United States alone.
I don't think you can underestimate the cost of HPV-related diseases. These types of diseases require surveillance, so there's repeated testing that's necessary, often requiring more invasive testing such as biopsies.
Pap tests are the best way to protect from cervical cancer. A pap test looks for abnormal cells in the lining of the cervix before they have a chance to become cervical cancer.
The advice that I would give to women that are worried about HPV and cervical cancer is to make sure that they get their annual pap smears, because some women might not be as lucky as I am.
Any woman who's concerned about HPV and its relationship to cervical cancer and other diseases should talk to her physician or her healthcare provider